welcome back to the Underground Lair, where we take guitars that don't play very good and make them better. Today we have another interesting guitar that I can't wait to tear into. It's a Line 6 Variax James Tyler model. It's got well, let's take a look. It's got kind of a Les Paul type of shape to it. It's got it looks like a variation on a hardtail, but it's adjustable both here and here, but also there's small set screws for moving each saddle, so kind of cool. It does have all the adjustable preset settings and amp modeling in it on these two, and a master volume and a master tone with the Les Paul sort of switch for the pickups, which is a little noisy. I gotta spray that. Notice we are missing the strap button there, and the strap button back here is very loose. He's tried a myriad of different screws and it doesn't seem to have worked. So we are going to go ahead and put a dowel in there. And this guitar, I can't wait to take the strings off it because it appears to have a real maple top on it with natural maple binding. And I'm going to pull one of the pickups out and see what kind of see if it is in fact just a veneer. I'd like somebody to tell me in the comments, who do you think makes this guitar? Because he was telling me that Yamaha makes it for Line 6, but I don't know. It kind of reminds me of a Samick, but it's got it's not a neck through. It's got a set neck. You can see the line for where that joint is, here and here. And it appears, if you look in the horn area, it's got a really thick hunk of maple there. Okay, so the first thing I noticed when I was taking the strings off, the tuner bushings are super loose. This one in particular, so you just hand crank it down. And we don't want to crank these tight, we want to snug them up. This one's also kind of loose. You really should do this every time you change strings, because with Pennsylvania kind of weather, you get wood that contracts and expands with the humidity and temperature changes. So you don't want your stuff flopping around. That's a 10mm, by the way. Okay, and the strings they just kind of sit in here. You put them in place and they just hold in place. So let's pull a pickup, see what's hiding in here. Okay, the moment of truth. We do have a maple top on this, and we have a long neck tenon. So the neck tenon comes back to about here, and it's got the tape or the paint over the cavity, but on the one end that you can't see, there's a little bit worn off. And I'm going to say this top is at least as this thick as this cutout that I showed you earlier. So, boy, that's nice. So I'm going to polish the frets a little bit. They don't need much. I'm going to hit it with some probably just fret erasers, because they're really smooth. And we're going to clean and oil the fingerboard. It looks really dry. So okay, we have the strings on. I have the piece of wood somewhere. Here it is. And I want to put in there, so we're going to get suction peg and pull that out to make sure that this isn't going to be too deep. No, it won't. Okay, cool. Put some deoxit in this switch because it's a little noisy. And look at that fingerboard and look at how polished those frets are. They're gonna bend like butter. Alright, so that's good. I want to put a little bit just down the hole here. Let it sink in, drip down onto my bench below. Work it back and forth. Okay, that should do that. Alright, let's see what our relief looks like. It's a Gibson scale, so what we're going to look for is holding at the body joint. We're going to want 12th thou at 7th fret. Just hold it to 17th. 7th fret, and yeah, we got to release the truss rod a little bit, even though the strings are heavier gauge than what were on there. It's a 4 mil, we checked already. Check our relief one more time, that should do it for us. That's sneaking right in there like it should. Now, of course, we're going to let it sit overnight while we let it adjust to having different string tension on it. Where do we want to be? We want to be at 5/0. That's right. The bass side has to come up a big time. You want 5/64 at 12th fret and 3/64 to 4/64. We are between 3 and 4/64. So we got to raise this side here. And I'm going to assume we do that by using a little Allen key there. We'll take the tension off. You never want to add tension without reducing your tension. Okay, and one of these wrenches that were in the bag must be the one that raises that. This the right one. Aha. Yep. There we are at 5, and there we are at where we left it. Alright, so I'm going to tune this back up. You don't need to watch that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the underground lair. It is the next day. We had to go and take the dog to the groomer. I had to go to the grocery store. and had to vote. So, last night we plugged the hole with a matchstick and several toothpicks. I just took a one of these poker things. There's actually a name for it, I can't think of it. Put a hole in the middle. I took a drill bit that is a little smaller than the screw that's going to go in there. Put a little piece of tape on the drill so I know where to stop. Made that little poke with the, there's a word for that, I can't think of it right now. So we're just going to drill in here. It's always a good practice to take a little bit of my wife's candles, just put wax on the threads. It makes it much easier to do the job. So you see we have the strap lock here and our strap lock up here. Just waiting for the strap to be put on. I'm going to let him do that. Let's see where the neck ended up after a big adjustment last night. So we're at 17th fret, 7th fret. We want 12. And I could actually tighten that up just a hair. So we're going to do that. Now remember what I said about taking your a little bit of tension off your neck whenever you adjust the truss rod to tighten it. Anytime you put tension against the string, that's about all I want to do there. Okay, so we're checking the intonation, and I'd pretty much set it up last night, but I didn't show anybody what I was doing. Unlike screws that you'd find on a tune-o-matic bridge on a Gibson, this actually has an Allen key that comes with it. And I'm not sure what size it is, but it's the one that comes with it, and it's got a little Allen key hole here, and the D string is sharp, so I took some tension off the D string. Moved it back a little bit. Let's see what happens. There we go. G also went a little bit sharp. G. There we are. B is still on. And E is it flat? Nope, it's on. Okay, our string height at the 12th fret is a little greater than, not quite 5, but it's almost at 5. It's greater than 4/64, and we're at 4/64 on the high E, and we have no string buzz. I was noticing this, but it's all coming from the saddle. Notice when you're on the last fret, there's nothing else to be buzzing, so it's got to be the saddle. And that's not something that I am equipped to fix, but I played it through the amp after I was messing with that last night, and I'm like, well, you can't hear that through the amp, so it's just a rattle that's in the saddle, that you can't fix. And now that I made an adjustment on the truss rod, see, you can't measure it with a pick. I guess you could if you had the right thickness. So 7th fret, yeah, like that. It just a little flatter. Last thing we got to do, as everybody knows who's watched my videos, is I forget to do the string height or pickup height before the video's over. That's going to come up drastically. Perfect. That's going to come up. I was a little worried because this pickup was very unlevel with the strings. And bring it up, there we go, that's good. Bring it up, took care of that. So, yay me. Okay, that's going to come up, and that's going to come up. Perfect, and that's still going to come up. You don't want your pickup height too high because you will screw up your magnetic field, will screw up your intonation. And nobody wants that. Come on. That feels right, let's see. Yep, there we go. Okay, so everything is done. We got our new strap locks on here. I'm actually not going to put them in the bag with that because they're loose and I don't want to cause any damage to the instrument. I want to thank you for joining us down here in the underground lair. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and tell people about it. I'm on the Facebooks, on the interwebs. You can send me a instant message and we'll get you in line. Got about 3 guitars here right now to work on. Another line 6. So, oh, and a ES339 copy. Can't wait to do that. We're putting new tuners on it. And so, take care of the old folks. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Be patient with everybody out there. And have a great day. It's sunny, it's beautiful. Peace.